Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to take a tiny, seemingly simple piece of internet metadata, literally just a couple lines of text, and put it straight under the microscope. It's actually amazing how much strategic data and educational intent is packed into just a handful of words when you really stop and look at it.
To ground ourselves right out of the gate, let's look at the exact source text we're analyzing today. The title of the content is, quote, Bismillah with Urdu translation, Bismillah Rahim, Bismillah with Urdu translation. It comes to us from the channel Learn Islamic Topics, and the transcript provided for this content is just two distinct lines, Bismillah Rahim and Alayhum Wala Ahla. Now, at a passing glance, it looks totally simple, right? But this tiny little fragment is actually a masterclass in search optimization and linguistic bridging.
So, here's our roadmap for this linguistic puzzle. We'll start with the channel and title, look at the phonetic transliteration, analyze the primary Arabic text, explore the secondary Arabic text, and finally, uncover the overall educational intent.
First up, the channel and title.
Look at how this title is explicitly built. It's broken into three distinct parts, all separated by vertical bars. First, we've got the main title, Bismillah with Urdu translation. Next, we see a middle section that acts as a phonetic bridge, Bismillah Rahim. And finally, a repeated tag right at the end, Bismillah with Urdu translation, but this time it's completely in lowercase. The strategy here is crystal clear. That repetitive promise of an Urdu translation acts as a search optimization magnet, guaranteeing that anyone searching for that highly specific content is going to be captured.
And this brilliantly illustrates a major contrast in scale when it comes to online education. Just think about the channel name for a second, Learn Islamic Topics. That suggests a massive, broad, overarching educational mission, right? Covering a whole wide array of subjects. But then look at the title's promise. It's hyper-specific, Bismillah with Urdu translation. The creator is using a highly targeted, narrow hook to draw viewers into what is likely a much broader educational ecosystem.
Moving on to part 2, the phonetic transliteration. Right smack in the middle of that highly optimized title, we find this specific phrase, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. This is an English phonetic transliteration. Essentially, it uses the familiar English or Latin alphabet to spell out the exact sounds of the Arabic script. For a learner who might not know how to read Arabic letters, this phonetic guide is basically the key to unlocking the content. It makes the vocalization of the text instantly accessible before the learner even lays eyes on the actual transcript. Which brings us to section 3, the primary Arabic text.
Notice how that English phonetic phrase from the title maps perfectly down to the very first line of the Arabic transcript. The phonetic English, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, directly aligns with the primary Arabic text, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. This is a direct, one-to-one correlation. The creator has essentially handed the learner the exact tools they need, right there in the metadata, to vocalize that first line of text. It's an incredibly efficient way to teach pronunciation.
Now let's look at section 4, the secondary Arabic text.
This immediately begs the question for anyone analyzing this text, what about the final line? As we just saw, the first line had a robust phonetic guide built right into the title, but this second line just appears suddenly in the transcript, completely without any supporting framework.
Allah yuhimmu lahla. Observe its visual structure exactly as it was presented in the source. It just sits quietly below that famous primary phrase, presenting an immediate contrast to the highly guided first line.
Let's break down the characteristics of this second line based purely on the text artifact we have. First off, it's located on the second line of the transcript. Second, it's presented entirely in Arabic script. But crucially, it completely lacks a corresponding phonetic English transliteration in the metadata. And on top of that, despite the title's repetitive guarantee, the transcript itself lacks the promised Urdu translation. It's this unguided, untranslated textual artifact placed right next to a highly guided one. Finally, section 5, the educational intent. What's really fascinating here is the overall balance of the text. Think about the sheer volume of English or Latin alphabet words used in the title and compare that to the very brief Arabic script in the transcript itself. The source relies heavily on English phrasing, phonetics, and repetition to frame, search optimize, and deliver a much shorter, highly concentrated segment of Arabic script. The metadata is literally doing the heavy lifting to get the learner to the core text. It works exactly like a funnel, guiding the learner step by step. Step 1. Attract the viewer via those repeated English and Urdu search terms. Step 2. Provide a phonetic bridge right in the title so they can immediately pronounce the words.
Step 3, deliver the primary Arabic script in the transcript that matches that phonetic bridge. And finally, Step 4, introduce the secondary Arabic text, essentially acting as an advanced or supplementary line for the viewer to process once they're already engaged. It's a structured, highly methodical pathway from the search engine straight down to the raw transcript.
Which leads us to a much broader thought to end on. How does combining English phonetics with Arabic text fundamentally change the way we consume and search for educational religious content online? When the metadata acts as the teacher before you even access the core material, it completely transforms our learning environment. I hope this deep dive helped you see the intentional strategies hiding in even the smallest text fragments. Keep focusing, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.